Today our video is focusing on drop-in joins, which are something that you can use to help your writing move more quickly across the page. But something else I want you to think about first that also helps your writing move more quickly is the style of pen you're using. I've noticed that some people are using pens which actually make it more difficult to write fluently. And here's some examples to show you what I mean. So the pens that I've used here are all blue ink biro pens or ballpoint pens, which are the most common because they're cheap and they're easy to use and they don't tend to leak. They also don't smudge because of the type of ink that's inside. But let's say for this one here, when I use this one to write, I feel like it's quite heavy. It sort of drags across the page. So it's holding me back in terms of the speed of my writing. The next one has beautiful quality ink, but the barrel here, where you would hold the pen, is actually quite thick and a bit slippery, so it makes it hard to hold on to while I'm writing. Some of the others weren't too bad. You can have a look there. But others, for example this one here, actually cut in and out. So even though I was writing with a consistent pressure on the page, the amount of ink you'll see is sometimes heavy and sometimes light, and that's not going to help your writing to look as fluent as it could. My favourite was the last one. It's actually a fine point compared to the others that have a medium-sized line or a medium nib. This one's a fine point nib, and the barrel here has a few little ridges along it, which makes it much easier to hold on to. It's not so slippy. So today, before you do your writing, go through your pencil case, have a look and see which pen is going to be the best for you today, remembering that generally in our society we would write in a blue or black pen. Red pen is saved for corrections, and other colours are used for more artistic activities, not for everyday writing. So now that you've got your favourite pen in your hand, we can think about those drop-in joins. When you're doing your cursive or running writing, you don't need to have your pen on the page all of the time. That's where drop-in joins come in. The word hat will show you what I mean. So I'm thinking about my slope with my letter H. I finish with my exit flick and I go up, ready to start my letter A. I'm going to use a different colour now so that you can really see that once I draw that letter A, I have to trace back over where I've already been to keep going. As you get more fluent with your writing, you don't need to trace over anymore. So if I'm going to write the word hat again, straight down, up and around, exit, flick, my pen comes off. It skims over the page without touching till it gets to about here. Then it circles back around, up into the T, drops back down to finish off. So it still has the appearance of beautiful cursive writing without any double lines, which can sometimes get a bit thick. Now you might have also noticed that we're doubling over when we write the letter T, and you can use this same idea when you're doing a letter like that. So as I go down H and I do a tiny lift, I skate over into the A, come up, and then I can let my pen skim, 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 skim before I come back down. So it's a little bit hard with a stylus. I'll give it one more try. It's a bit easier when I go quickly. And before we move on, remember that it's okay to print if you know that that's what you need to work on more than the cursive writing. As a reminder, don't forget to roll up your page. Drop-in joins is your heading, and you'll need the date. So with all of that in mind, let's now try a row yourself of the word hat, trying to write quickly, letting that pen skim over the page. Remember that you can pause the video if you'd like, so you've got a bit more time to practice. Now, drop-in joins work really well for any of our letters that go in an anti-clockwise direction. So these are some examples of oval letters that all go anti-clockwise. The only exception to this is probably the letter E, because that one joins quite easily. So let's have a go at the word dog as another practice word. So I'm going around, up and down using my slope card. I flick, I let my pen lift, I come back around for my O and come across for my G. Now I've actually snuck in a horizontal join just here, and we haven't covered those yet in the videos, so it's okay if you're not sure what to do there. Just practice the drop-in join here. Let's try that one again. And finish off the row using the word dog. Once you've finished that row, remembering that you can pause the video if you need to, we'll move on to the word page. The letter P, we will remember from the last video, doesn't join. I move on to the A, flick, lift, back around, and finish with the E. Now these two could join, but we'll cover those in a future video. When you're ready, let's finish with one more row of fluency practice for the word late. Use your slope card to help you keep consistent with that letter L. Drop in as you join the L to the A. Come up, remembering you can skim back down to finish off your T and roll straight into your E. Once you're done, as we have done in our past videos, grab a different colour, have a look for words that you think you've done quite well, give those a tick, and then have a look and see if there are some that you know that needed more work. So for example, over here I can see that my letters are a different height, so that would get a question mark. And this one here, these two letters are quite wide where these two are quite narrow, so that one's not my best work either. Today's paragraph is all about the ballpoint pen, a really beautiful piece of easy to use technology. We don't always think of technology as being anything other than the devices that you'd be watching this on now, but for its time, it was a really amazing invention. So, the ballpoint pen was first created in 1888, but could only write on leather. In 1938, the Biro brothers refined the design, taking inspiration from the way newspapers were printed. At the end of World War II, the brothers were able to patent their design and sell it to the world. I'll put a link underneath so you can read more about this story if you're interested. Otherwise, pause the video and copy down the paragraph as best you can. Now that you're back, check in, do a little bit of self-reflection, ticking anything that looks like your best work today. I'm definitely still learning to do my best writing with this stylus. Thanks for watching. Remember, if you're going to leave any comments underneath the video, make sure that they are constructive and kind. Have a great day.